topic is waveguide coupling. Okay, waveguide coupling. Coupling means here what we are doing, we are coupling two or more waveguide components so that we can transfer the energy in or out of the component. So suppose if you are having this one waveguide, in that I am connecting some other component. I don't know about this component, so that you are knowing that in your waveguide you are having the electric field and magnetic field. It is flowing. So from that, either I can take a part of that energy, or from this coupling component I can insert some energy in this waveguide. Okay. So if that is my activity, then I will go for the coupling. So suppose if we are going for the waveguide coupling, we are generally having three different types of waveguide coupling. First one is probe coupling. If we are going for the probe coupling, here probe coupling, we are coupling the waveguide with respect to your coaxial line. So this is your coaxial cable and this is your inner part of your coaxial cable. This is your inner part of your coaxial cable. If you are seeing this coaxial cable, it is metallic in nature and we can use this probe for transmitting the energy in the waveguide. So equal distribution of the energy will be there from this probe to this waveguide. So we can say that this probe can act as antenna. Now, if we are seeing this probe, here if we are assuming this as your waveguide, so whenever we are going for inserting the probe, we will insert the probe in the wider side. This is the wider side. Okay. Here we have to insert. Here we don't have to insert. Okay. So where you are having the length, the place where you are having the length, there we have to insert the probe, not this side. And whenever we are going for inserting at your length, it should be at a distance of your lambda g by 4. This distance should be your lambda g by 4. What is your lambda g? So if you are having this waveguide, in that waveguide, what is the guide wavelength? First you have to calculate the guide wavelength for that waveguide. Okay, and then you can calculate that at what distance you have to insert the probe. Okay, and whenever we are going for inserting, we have to insert it at the center. Okay, first we are having the wider side, and at the wider side we have to insert it in the center. Okay, so when we are inserting it in the center and it is at a distance of your lambda g by 4, then this will perform well. So here what is happening, that earlier if we are not following this, there may be the chances of mismatching, and if there is mismatching is there between these two components, then some energy may escape from this. So this is not required. Ideally this is not required. We want that there should be proper matching. In order to have the proper matching, we have to make it at a distance of your lambda g by 4. It should be at the wider side and it should be at the center. And see, suppose if we are seeing your probe, this probe is parallel to your electric field. The electric field will be concentrated at the center. Here you will not have that much electric field. You will have the electric field at the center. At the center it will be concentrated. So as the electric field is concentrated at the center, we are inserting the probe here. And as it is parallel to this, your probe coupling, it is also known as capacitive coupling. Okay, so here what we are doing? Here we are going for the aperture coupling. This is also one way of coupling between two different components. Here what we are having, coupling. Here we are having two different waveguides having different physical dimensions. So different waveguide, so two waveguides having different dimension, we are coupling it. You are knowing that in case of your waveguide, you are having the energy in the form of electric field and magnetic field. from this hole, the electric field and magnetic field, there will be the disturbance in that. So you will have uneven distribution of your electric and magnetic field. The place where you are having more electric field, the place where you are having more magnetic field, that side you will see the transfer of energy is taking place. So here what we are doing, by inserting the hole, we are disturbing the balance, and as we are inserting the hole, some of the energy is escaping from this hole, and as some of the energy is escaping, whatever the distribution of the energy is there, that is imbalance. Of your aperture coupling. Aperture coupling is also known as slot coupling. Okay. Loop coupling. Say suppose whenever we are going for the loop coupling, it is the coupling between your cavity resonator and your coaxial line. So if you are seeing your probe coupling, there we are having waveguide and coaxial line. Here we are having cavity resonator and your coaxial line. So what is the difference between your that waveguide and this cavity resonator? Whereas your cavity resonator, it is a finite length. Okay. So this block it is showing that it is of a finite length. Or in other words, we can say that from a waveguide we can take a part of the waveguide and form the cavity resonator. We are going for the coupling here. Here we are having something like this loop. Loop means this is your probe only, but we have made it in such a way that it is making a loop, and we are making the loop in such a way that it is the magnetic field. Coupling is the probe coupling. What you are having? We are seeing that what is the degree of coupling, the area of the loop. Larger the area, greater the degree of coupling. And also known as your inductive coupling. So here capacitive coupling, here inductive coupling. Okay. Magnetic field. On the other